Hello, all you fans of Chafing Armor podcast. We thank you for joining us, where we scratch your itch for fantasy role-playing. We are here entering the Dragon Realms. We have had great battles, and we hope no deaths. But that's always possible. Today with us, we have our guest, who is Silver Draconian. Merrick, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, I am Merrick the Tavern Keeper. Tonight I am playing Cathilian Shimmerwind, a silver dragonborn fighter who's just met this merry band of adventurers and is trying to help them kind of navigate this little combat chaos thing that we got going on and figure out what these jugs are about.
Thank you. And Michael, would you introduce yourself, please?
Well, hello there, everybody. This is Michael. Tonight I will be playing Willow Wand, the diminutive but very loud, apparently with Thunderwave, druid wood elf.
And now, Izzy, would you introduce yourself and your
Good evening, everybody. Or, like any other time zone, also everybody. My name is Izzy, and tonight I'll be playing Hob Silverslinger, the half-elf artificer who has a better mustache than anyone could ever hope to ever achieve. Wow, I didn't say the right things for either. That anyone could ever hope to achieve.
A mustache is a great pursuit of life, right?
Mm-hmm. It's basically a lifestyle, really. Think about it.
It is. Salvador Dali and such. All right, Riley, would you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm playing Honey Robin, the fast-talking, always wonderful plasmoid monk.
And I am Dare. I am your dungeon master for this stretch of our adventure. And let's get into it. Last time, our hardy band of adventurers returned and land in the airfield above the cliffs at the edge of the world, above the Sea of Swords, and had two unexpected guests that were hiding on their hull. And those centaurpedes were carrying jugs, one of which got cracked, or two of which got cracked and started leaking, but were quickly and dexterously put into a bag of holding to hold whatever contents at bay. And then the other two were deftly captured by our Silver Dragonborn, Cathilian, and our Willow Wand. It slipped my mind. What is your character? God. Willow Wand. What is your character, Michael?
Oh, Druid.
Druid. Golly. All right. And assisted by Willow Wand the Druid, now as the battle has come to an end, Cathilian, Hob, Silverslinger, Willow Wand, and Honey Robin are escorted down through the gnomish lifts and down all the way to the edge of the Sea of Swords to meet the Queen, Skilpata, the dragon turtle that is a living island and has been in this place for thousands of years. There at the bottom of the cliffs, looking up 200 levels from the base of the cliff, carved into the walls, are miles wide of these levels of merchants and homes and factories and ports of interest. A city carved out of the living rock that goes deep inside. And you are standing in the presence of Queen Skilpata and her chief magistrate, Monet Bacnado, a fairly ancient dragon turtle. or a dragon turtle, a fairly ancient turtle, who stands there with a spear, or what appears to be a spear also as a walking staff. And Monet turns to you all and says, "Thank you so much for your dedication to protect the city. What brings you to our shores in such a state and bearing such creatures and bad tidings?"
My life for the city. As long as you should
We
need
have
me.
news. Well, first of all, hail and well met. Charmed, I am absolutely sure. We have news from the City of the Peoples. The king has brought us to let you know that there is, once again, I'm afraid, the increased threat of plague. And that Skilpata, if Her Majesty is available, should resume creation of the cure.
And Monet nods and looks up, and towering above you is the massive head of this living island. Skilpata looks down at you, her great eye larger than the entire group, looking at you, and you hear her voice in your heads. "Greetings, children. We have already begun production of the elixir of life, for we have been attacked, and it distresses me greatly to hear that those that attacked us so readily 5 years ago, and those that had ruined one of our fair dragon cities, are at it again." And Monet turns to you and says, "We will dispose of the toxins. It appears that they had enough here to decimate this city 4 times over. I fear that their job was not just to poison the city, but they were going to try and attack Her Majesty."
I do want to say that thanks to the quick work of everyone here, but especially Hob Spellsinger here getting his bag of holding, their bag of holding, gotten it, Ray, I do want to draw to your attention that 2 of them were cracked in that process beforehand, so please use particular caution. We do not want anything untoward.
"Yes. We will dispose of it with our magical incinerator for just such an occasion." And now we would ask, Cathilian, thank you for your service to the city. Are you willing to serve longer? We thank you. And I hope that your life will not be necessary, but as you saw, we apparently have an infestation of these cultists. And they are back deep into the far caves of the city, far into the limestone, far, far deep beyond the light of day. We have had just yesterday, an incursion, and we have someone here, an investigator that went deep down and experienced what was in there, and will give you a first-hand account to the cave that we are going to send you to investigate.
Thank you, my lord.
Well, from behind Monet steps out a little boy, a turtle boy, something, a build similar to a soft-shell turtle, about 4 feet tall, perhaps. He adjusts his comically oversized glasses and straightens his newsboy cap and looks up at you through a magnifying glass and says, "Pleased to meet you. My name's Reggie McDougal, Lil Reggie McDougal. The Lil is important. I'm from the Yorman it alerted the guards. So the main thing that I learned is that they are lizard folk. They are perhaps being financially motivated, and that they are worshipping a leader known as Denath Cool. And I know you're thinking, is he cool? I don't know. He seems like a pretty uncool guy to me, but that's what he's cool.
And do you know anything about this Denath Cool? I mean, is it like a bloke, like a guy with with scary robe, or is it like an archfey, or like a god, or do anything like that?
That I'm still working on. I didn't see the fella myself with my own two little peepers, but I did. I heard there one of the sort of looked like a guy in charge yell out his name to sort of invoke him like a battle cry.
And Monet steps forward and says, and since that report, it seems to have triggered their attack upon the city. And we have heard that name cried out many times by these cultists. Most are wearing these medallions of a centipede and with crossed spears. Some have a little square also, but they all seem to be from this same cult, and they are all crying out this name of Denath Cool. We want you to go back into this cave to take a force with you and root out whatever may be left. Little Reggie here seems to indicate that there were many more down there, and machinery and supplies for building something, possibly more of this necrotic plague that they were going to infect the city with. Would you all be willing to undertake this quest, this protection of Queen Skilpata and the city of Jormungand?
Hob grimaces. Well, I suppose I've already lost my livelihood.
And bag of holding.
That's true. I probably shouldn't put anything else in there. I can make more, though. Totally.
I love your confidence, Brand.
We will be able to remove the poisonous contents from your bag of holding in just a few minutes and return your property to you. And you will be greatly rewarded for your service to both our city and to our Lord Amal Marduk in Karisk Torpolis. You will be greatly rewarded for your service and compensated if any of you should happen to pass.
Well, it's not going to be me, that's for sure.
Willowan just gulps and but nods and says, absolutely. We've got to stop this. I don't know what those centipede things are, but they give me the heebie-jeebies, and there's something deeply wrong here, and we need to see to it.
And Monet turns to you, Cathilian, and says, Cathilian of the city god, you will receive a promotion upon completion of this work. Thank you for your service. And he turns and receives from another guard a sword and brings it over to you and hands it to you.
Ooh.
And says, here, this sword was crafted from one of the claws of Queen Skilpata herself. It will always find its mark, and you will find that its blessing to you is without question. And so you just received a sword that has been crafted from the claw of Queen Skilpata, and so it gives you a +2 to attack, and it has what feels like a holy aura, and it does an additional 1d4 radiant damage, and it does 1d8 plus 1d4 radiant.
Is there a particular item that I could just?
Yeah, it's a I believe the one of the holy swords. Let me see. Sorry, I didn't write it. It's similar. It's not exactly the same.
It's okay. I'll cut this out. It's technically the holy moly sword, or the holy crap sword, or as my mother would always say, holy but not righteous. Extremely mother thing to say. Did you say, Merrick, that your mother had been on your stream, or had been a subscriber?
She is one of my
mods
mods and one of my longest subscribers.
That is so cool.
Yeah, she found out that I was a streamer towards the beginning of COVID, and she's like, "Oh, I'll make a Twitch channel and I'll follow you and everything on there." And then it turned into her subscribing, and now her and my aunt are my two longest subscribers at coming up on 5 years. And then eventually, I was having my best friend be my mod for me, and so that wasn't enough. And I was like, well, I need another one. And my mom was like, oh, I'll do it for you. So then I added her.
And is it all right? I know obviously time is of the essence, but we've experienced a pretty dire combat outside. Is it all right if we head out at first light?
Yes, it is evening, and we have prepared rooms for you on the level above the restaurant entrance that little Reggie discovered, and so you will be led there and given guards as well as preparations for the night to come. And so you all are escorted up to I believe it was the 76th level of the city, and you are escorted to what seems like a hostel, carved inside the living rock. And you go in, it has large windows carved in to the rock face with window panes. It is a very gaily decorated inn. There is food, there is talk and laughter, though maybe a bit subdued from what it usually is. And then you are given food and rooms.
I'm going to ask real quick if Cathilian will have a drink with us before we turn in. I just wanted to first say thank you. You were incredible out there.
Thank you. We go through some extensive training to be on the city guard, and we've been on edge as of late with this rise in cultists, so my focus was needed more now than ever.
That was an amazing stabbing. I don't know the right word for it. So I one of the things that I like to ask, I don't go into the city that often. I mostly hang out in my woods. But why did you decide to become a guard? Why did you go into the martial service?
Well, ever since a child, I've always had a strong sense of protection for those around me and for those who couldn't protect themselves. So I've always wanted to do something. And as I grew older and I grew taller, I knew that would be my calling. And so I joined the guard at my earliest age. And I rose through the ranks and found that I was good at it. So here I am.
Incredible. Before we head on, and by the way, at some point I've cast Cure Wounds on Honey Robin.
Yay!
Even though because she was pretty banged up from the fight. I definitely would have done that earlier. But Honey Robin, and now that we know that this is you were the one who confirmed and saw the medallions. Is there anything else you want to share about this cult? Anything you heard? Did you ever hear the name Deneth Cool?
Let me do would it be a history check, I guess, to see if I remember anything?
Yes. You'll need a 15 or better.
That is a 10, my friend. I don't think I really remember.
They kept you pretty locked up, and away from the other prisoners to make you feel like you weren't one. And they pampered you, but they didn't really speak to you.
They weren't really much for conversation, if you know what I mean. I tried to talk to them a little bit, but, in the end, I don't think they liked me too much.
I think they had pretty sinister designs on you. One other thing, Hob, what the hell was that thing walking around out there?
Oh, I've picked up a thing or two. All of these things that I've been selling for years now are finally starting to make sense on a more deeper level. I figured out how to make a cannon with legs. It's pretty convenient, don't you think? I mean, otherwise, as the combat moves, the cannon doesn't move with me.
I once saw a displacer beast just eat a hag, and it was one of the, I thought was the most brutal thing I'd ever seen until what was left of that lizard folk afterwards. That was wow.
Well, I surprised myself. It was, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight, honestly. That this isn't for the faint of heart.
And Cathilian, have you ever been into these caverns, this area? Is anything you know about this?
We were always told to avoid the caverns due to the cultist activity. I myself haven't explored too far into them, only to chase wanton cultists who wander too far, too close to our borders.
Roll me a history check, Cathilian. You need a 15 or better.
Oh boy, because he's so good at history. Nope. Yeah.
He did a really good job avoiding them.
Yeah, well, it's like urban legend. There are these old caverns that attach to the cliff face. That's why the city was built here. And they go deep into the bedrock, but nobody really knows where they go or how many caverns there are. And everything is rumors of other dragons, rumors of creatures in the darkness. And now with the cultists popping out and what little Reggie told you about that and her encounter with a carrion crawler and the reek of just dead things that people are reporting coming out of stairwells and out of certain hallways. You wonder how close to the truth some of the old myths and legends really are for the city of Skilpata. And so it is getting close to midnight as you all share a drink. You, Cathilian, were stationed here to be with Hob and Willowwand and Honey Robin to prepare for the coming exploration. And you all were given supplies, torches, food, and various other things for the morning. So it is time for you to rest, and you don't have to put up a watch because you have guards outside your doors and guarding the inn. So you may rest for the night. Woo. Anybody want to do anything as they're preparing for the night?
Cathilian's just going to sit in his room, and he's going to kind of hold this new sword that he was given. He's just going to kind of marvel at it, that it was such a gift to him. It's just a city guard of whatever rank he is. This is still an extremely generous gift, and he's just going to kind of marvel at it and maybe secretly, without hitting anything, give it a couple swings around the room. Try not to ruin anything, but he's going to kind of get a feel for it and just appreciate this mighty gift that he's been given.
I'm not particularly religious, but I do want to say a prayer to the Wild Mother to guide me tomorrow and just have her give me guidance on what spells to prepare and to hope that I'll be of more use than my whole person's on the previous day.
Okay, you say your prayers. You feel the warmth of the Wild Mother. Anybody else?
I think Hob is just gonna conk the freak out.
All right, everybody gets their 8 hours of rest and feels refreshed. In the morning, you are called down. Monet is waiting in the great room of the inn where breakfast has been prepared for you and gives you a briefing that there, down one level is the restaurant, the shell of the restaurant where little Reggie and his companion fought a carrion crawler and came out of the deep caves. And so it is almost a straight shot a mile back through that restaurant into the caves to find where they encountered the cultists. And so he holds out to the four of you a ring. Each of you gets a jade green ring. It is a ring of the serpent, and it will help protect you from poisons. And so he gives you each a ring to put on that will give you resistance to poisons and escorts you down the one level, out the door and down the stairs to the front of a boarded up restaurant. There are restaurants on either side of this level, running up and down, all sorts of smells and spices. But this one restaurant that is boarded up, it has sawhorses and barriers around the entrance to it on this level walkway that is carved into the rock. And you can smell the smell of death, of rotting flesh seeping from behind the boards. And so he says, "Oh, what a smell." And he holds up an ointment and says, "Take this and rub it under your nostrils, and it will protect you from the nausea." And so he walks around in front of each of you, offering this little jar of ointment for you to dip your finger in and rub it across your noses. This will last for the day.
Much appreciated.
And so several guards open the wooden door that has been spiked shut, and they hand you what seems like lanterns, but it doesn't really have a burning flame in it. It has a small orb that glows. And he said, these lanterns won't go out unless they are completely broken. And the door is opened in front of you.
All right. I would like to turn to everyone, and I would like to give Cathilian my lantern and say, would you hold on to this for me?
Absolutely. My pleasure.
I appreciate it, and I'm going to take my quarterstaff and sling it on my back, take a few steps back, and I'm going to start walking towards the wall. Oh, I'm going to turn to everyone first, because otherwise, as dramatic as that would be silly, and say, if you hear excited clicking noises, that means something's wrong. So I'm going to pop off ahead of y'all. If you hear clickety, 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 clack, that you'll know what I mean. And turn, and for the first time in front of this group, as I walk to the wall, I am going to wild shape into a giant wolf spider. And as I touch the wall, my feet springing out from my sides as I shrink down, much larger than a regular spider, but much smaller than a giant spider that you're thinking of. Probably about the size of a medium-sized dog, barely. I will begin to climb on the ceiling And first, I will make the noise, which is just this, and start to climb ahead and use my dark vision of 60 feet, along with my blind sight of 10 feet, and try to see if there's anything that is waiting for us as we make our way down.
Okay. And the room you enter has been cleaned out, but it still has the smell of dead and rotting things. It is a large restaurant space, about 1,000 feet square, and you were told that the back entrance, straight back, is the entrance to where the cultists were, leading about a mile back.
Well, I can maintain this form for 1 hour, so that will be probably more than sufficient time. I do have a +7 to stealth. I do want to try to be, somewhat sneaky.
All right, roll me a stealth check. Are any of the rest of you going to be trying to be stealthy?
Yeah.
My thing went off. Let me try that again. That is 17 plus 7, so 24.
All right.
Sneaky
You are
spider.
quiet as a spider. Pretty good. So you start down this tunnel. Willow Wand climbing precariously along walls and ceilings and floors, checking for traps and for things that go bump in the dark. And you pass doorways and you hear off distant voices. And as you go down this long dark hallway, it starts to widen from 10 feet to 20 feet to 30 feet. And after about 30 minutes of following Willow Wand at a fair pace into the dark, you all having your glowing lanterns. They're small, about hand-sized, and they can clip on your clothing or your armor, so you don't have to carry them. And you start to hear noises. And so, Willow Wand, would you give me I guess it's sleight of hand for 5e. Sleight of hand check to check for traps.
Yes,
Or
that
is
is
it
a
in-
whopping 11. I did not roll very well.
Okay. You don't see anything as you are walking along, so I need Cathillion and Honey Robin and Hob to roll me a spot check.
That's a 5.
That'll be an 8 for Honey Robin then.
20,
Okay.
21 for Hob, thankfully.
Okay. Hob, you see just in front of the group a small tripwire. What are you going to do?
Stop, everybody! The tripwire here. I'm gonna not trip it.
Okay. Cathillion and Honey Robin and Willow Wand, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Cathillion got a 7.
Hey.
I have a plus. I have a slightly higher as a giant wolf spider, but it's still a 14.
14.
That'll be a 25 for Honey Robin. Got that monk skill coming in.
Was I rolling one too? I'm not sure if I heard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Hob. Oh, no, Hob, you perceived it, so no,
Oh, okay.
you didn't touch it. You got a 7, Cathillion?
Yep. I think I need to put some in dice jail.
Okay,
Oh man,
so,
I thought I had successfully pointed it out to them.
well,
I guess
the
they
problem
didn't see
is you told them, but they were marching along and may not have seen it quite quickly enough. Hold on. Oh, you all just barely beat the group average. So you stop just in... Hob is able to stop you just in time before Cathillion steps on the wire, the little tripwire, and so you are able to step over it and not set it off. And as you pass it, you see that it is attached to a number of bells and things that would make noise at the slightest touch. And so you all are proceeding down the hallway, and there is starting to be light at the end of the tunnel, and you feel like you're at the large room, getting to the large room that little Reggie described for you all, where there were several magic users and soldiers. Willow Wand, what would you like to do?
I will try to walk along the ceiling and see if I can find anything like a weakness or something they're guarding, or see if I can find out what's going on in here.
Okay, and so as you are going to the tunnel, you realize that this tunnel ends into a natural cavern, and the roof of the cavern goes up about 100 feet. There are stalagmites and stalactites all over the room, and in the center of the room, it looks like there is a alchemical table where something is being manufactured, and you see several sacrificial tables and bodies lying around. And right now you are quite thankful for whatever ointment was put under your noses, because you see dead and rotting bodies spread out all over the cavern.
So the most important thing for me at this moment, like I am horrified by what I'm seeing, but I want to see, is there anyone alive? Are there any of these captured people who are alive? Because that's going to greatly inform what I would do next.
You see 3 lizard men, one in a red cloak and 2 in blue cloaks, working at the alchemical table in the middle.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry. Are there any prisoners who seem to be alive?
There do not seem to be any prisoners that are alive.
Okay.
There are some freshly dead within, it looks like, the last 12 hours. And then there are dead that have been there for a day and a week and possibly several weeks. And the smell, you can bet, is just horrendous.
Okay. I'm going to hold my position up here and wait for everyone else.
Okay, so you're you're on the ceiling of the tunnel, right where it opens into this natural cave. And Hob and Cathillion and Honey Robin, what are you going to do? You see the light into the large cavern. It's not a lot of light, and your lanterns are probably just as bright as anything in this cavern. There are little shutters on your lanterns, like most lanterns, so you can shutter them partially or wholly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to shutter my lantern.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So you've shuttered the lanterns. You're in very dark light. You see the giant spider hanging from the ceiling, and the 3 of you cannot quite see what is inside this cavern. You're still back a few feet.
All right, Hob, Willowon, cast Thunderwave right now, right at it.
Agreed.
Sure, this is the best time for it.
Just so you know, Thunderwave creates an audible boom. So I gotta make a Constitution saving throw.
Well,
No.
Do I see that my wonderful party members have gathered towards the entrance?
Yeah, they're almost directly below you. You're about 10 feet above Cathillion because he's so tall.
Gotcha.
So,
well, what I would like to do is I would like to be on the ceiling where I'm not directly above the people doing their experiments, but I'm so if we're coming from the south, that I'm slightly south of them on the ceiling, and I would like to try something. Everybody.
Yay!
okay, the ceiling goes up, like I said, it arches up about 100 feet into a natural cavern. It's a big room. It's probably 200 feet across. It's 100 feet high, and it's probably 200 feet wide, and there are smaller caves going off in multiple directions.
Gotcha. Well, then I can't do that because it would kill me. Because I don't have I do not currently possess the ability to fly with my wild shape at my level. I will not do that after careful consideration.
I'm curious what that is.
If the ceiling had not been quite so high, I was going to try to create a thunder wave on the ceiling as because as a bonus action, I can return to my human form. And I was going to try to cast Thunderwave on the ceiling. However, I would then fall 100 feet and turn into Chunky Salsa.
Yes, you would.
So after doing that mental math, I go, okay, no, I won't do that. Does anybody else want to try something?
What is the current obstacle here? Is it that there are people in the next room?
There's just the 3 cloaked lizard men in the middle of the room working on something at the alchemical table.
Okay.
You don't hear any other voices. You don't hear... They're muttering to each other and talking. It sounds like they're talking in Draconic. But they're about 50 feet away from you in the center of the room. They're surrounded by dead bodies and parts.
I mean, I could try to attack them, but that doesn't seem like I don't know if that's the right move or not.
I'm worried the spider would be sicked on us.
Willowwand is a spider.
Honey Lemon, I think the spider's with us.
Oh, I completely missed that part. I thought he was something else on the ceiling. I thought he transformed into a different, insect up on the ceiling, and we had a giant spider we were about to fight.
It's okay.
You just really want to fight a giant spider, I understand. I mean, heck, and I'm pretty far away from them because they haven't seen us. Am I 30 feet away from them? Or...
You're about 50 feet away from them.
Gotcha.
They do not appear to know you are there.
I kind of want to look over at Honey or furiously flipping notes. Cathillion, you attack them? Try to get information out of them.
It would be good to get some information out of them.
We could torture them.
Well, I don't know about that one.
See, he agrees.
I will also agree with tick, 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 tick.
I think the spider agrees as well.
Can you net 4 guys?
I mean...
No, the net is only big enough for one person.
Could you hold person 1, I net 1, and then, I don't know, the big guy can grapple one of them?
All I can do is hurt them all with acid or thunder.
That's true. Well, we only really need 1 or 2 mouths to talk. I mean, they're trying to kill people. So if we leave 1 alive, maybe see which one's the head scientisty person. Maybe let's not destroy their notes either. Then we could at least still have our info.
Anyone want to take the first move? I have some area of effect.
Looking at these guys, can we tell if they're armed at all? Do these guys look like they might be fighters, or are they just science nerds playing in their chemistry set?
Spell.
You remember the report from Little Reggie that one that attacked them that was in red robes was able to cast Fireball?
Oh.
And one that was in blue robes cast a wall of water of some sort.
So, direct attack.
Yes, if we seem to get close enough, we might be able to bridge the gap before they're able to cast any spells.
Alright, plan enough. I guess then Honey Robin is going to make the first attack. If we're all decided. Perfect.
You're still 50 feet away.
Oh, well, then yeah, I'll close the gap. Or I'll get 40 feet and I can use a net to catch one. Okay.
Alright.
So, made the 40 feet and the net, so that would be a 19 to capture with the net.
That's a success.
Perfect. Alright, and now...
So the one you captured, the one that the net wraps around, is the one closest to you, and that's the one in red. And it wraps them up, and they fall face first onto the table both of the ones in the blue robes look at them and then look at you. And now everybody roll initiative.
That's a 6 for Cathilian, because I'm rolling terribly tonight. My dice are betraying me.
Whoopee!
Oh. That's 11 for Honey Robin.
That is a 13 for Spider Wand. Does whatever a Spider Wand can.
Yeah, you are, for initiative at least. And Hob?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Terrible. I got a 2. My second 2 of this same night.
We've had a lot of those. And so our 2 blue lizard folk get a 7 and a 15. So 15 goes first. 7 and red goes... Willowand, what's your dexterity?
Currently, it is a 16, because I'm a fighter.
Okay. So you will go first, and then the red lizard folk. Okay. All right. And so the blue, the one in the blue, shouts in common, "Do not let them find the plans," and holds his hands up to you. Honey Robin, you are hit by magic missiles.
Ow.
And
Dodge those. That's a joke.
And you are hit for 6 points of damage. All right. And Willowand, you are next.
All right. Well, as much... well, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 40-foot speed of the giant wolf spider and just book it towards them. As my bonus action, I am going to wild shape back into my wood elf form. There's 3 of them right in front of me, and they're all spellcasters. I am going to cast Thunder Wave, and I'm going to cast it at the 2nd level.
All right.
So that it will do 3d8 damage, and that is a 13 con save. Did they save?
Oh. No, they did not.
There's my 6. Wow. 8, 4. So that is 18 points of Thunder Wave damage, and they are all pushed back 10 feet.
They are flipped back over tables. These very squishy, apparently cultist magic users are flipped back over tables, grabbing up papers and trying to run away. And Honey Robin, you are next.
Woohoo! I am going to unarmed strike against the one I'm currently pinning down with the net. Just kind of trying to beat his head in a little bit, fun stuff. To hit, that is a 22.
That hits.
Great. And then that is a 12 points of damage. And then I get another unarmed strike as a bonus action as well. And that is a 13 to hit.
Okay.
Great. And bashing his head in again, that makes that 11 points of damage.
Okay, he casts shield on that one, and your attack does not hit.
Okay. And that would be the end of my turn.
All right. And he scrambles out of your grasp. He is bloody and hurt, and he scoops up a pile of scrolls, mumbles something, all of a sudden is moving very, very fast and away from you towards one of the far cave entrances.
Do I get
And
a attack of opportunity since he is fleeing combat?
You can try, yes.
Cool. Then I am going to try and tackle him, grapple him. That is a, let's see, strength. So that would be a 16.
That does hit.
Hey, okay. I was worried that wouldn't. And then, so grapple would be a... Is he just grappled now? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what was...
What were you going to say?
Oh, I wasn't
Busy?
sure if I had missed you saying Hob. It's your turn.
No, I was looking at the spell he cast and making sure that it did not affect what Honey Robin did. And so, okay, it is now Cathilians. You all were able to creep close enough that you could get into melee combat. The red one is wrapped up in Honey Robin's net and is on the ground. Honey Robin is currently grappling the second blue one, who is trying to escape, and the other one had been knocked backward over a table and is trying to get up from the prone position. Okay?
Okay. I will go ahead and use my 30 feet of movement to get as close as I can, but I know that that is not close enough. Oh, okay, cool. Then I will do that. I will run up and, brandishing the new sword that I just received, I will go ahead and try to cleave off. Oh, well, then I'll attack that one since it's prone. I don't want to. Yeah, I want to attack the one that's trying to get up. Oh, nice. That's a 18 to hit.
And that becomes an automatic crit because he's down on the ground.
Okay, so then for damage, roll poo on my damage. That's a 2 for the slashing damage, doubled to 4, plus 3, doubled to 6, so far 10. And then the radiant damage from this new sword, 2 radiant damage.
It may not be a lot of damage, but these guys are pretty squishy, and he's looking really cut up. And you cut through his robes, you cut through him. He's hurt really badly, but he is trying to get away. All right, do you have any bonus attacks? And Hob, it is your turn.
All right, how many of these dudes are still alive and near us? Or are there any running away?
The one that Cathilian just tried to attack, or just attacked, is on the ground and trying to scramble away. Honey Robin has one grappled, and the other one is wrapped up in Honey Robin's net and is trying to free itself.
Gotcha. Let's see here. I am summon the Force Ballista yet again, unfolding from a tiny little metallic box from my pouch, and with my bonus action I shall command it to attack this dude who's scrambling. So that is a nat 20. Woo!
Oh.
3. So that is 6 plus 8, 28 points of damage. Did I do that math right? The doubling.
Is that it?
Yes. That is my turn.
Okay. So what you did to the lizard man yesterday was pretty gross. Today you have basically liquefied this.
Boy.
You went above and beyond all of his hit points. And your force beam hits him and just smears him along the ground.
It's now canon, because they were doing those experiments. Some of that liquefaction fell in a beaker, and this is actually in this universe when the smoothie was born.
Oh, God. Nice. Lizard man smoothie. Ugh. Okay. And so that one is dead. The one in the red robe is going to try and escape and succeeds in casting off the net with a natural 20.
Woo! I mean, boo.
Stands up using half its movement, looks wild-eyed at being surrounded by you all, takes both hands, points at the ground in front of him, and you recognize the words for the fireball spell. And the fireball goes off in front of you.
I would like to cast Counterspell. I don't have Counterspell. I would like to. I wish that was the case, but unfortunately it is not. So the fireball is going to, in fact, happen.
Anybody else have anything?
I wish I did. If only he was casting magic missile at me. I have a spell for that.
And unfortunately, I don't think that the fireball does poison damage, so this ring isn't going to help me much.
Yeah,
Nope.
I don't think we have any.
And so we have 8d6.
What is the say? It's save for half, right?
Dexterity saving throw for half.
Oh no! That is a 10.
You all have to beat a 13. Ooh.
Dex. Save.
17.
We're level
Whee!
3, right? We didn't level up to level
I got
Level
18.
Four.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna level up real quick.
Okay.
Just gonna level up real quick while you're rolling that damage. I thought I maybe had forgotten.
All right. So that is 29 points of damage, halved for those of you. So that is 14 points of damage for those of you that made the dexterity save, and 29 points for those of you that didn't make the dexterity save.
Did you say 29 points?
Yes, 29 points.
That's more than half my health. Well, no, it's not more than half my health, but it's a lot.
I am now at exactly half health again.
Well, it is quite fortunate that I did level up. So I'm not dead. So there's that.
Well, the good news is that the fireball that didn't kill you all kills the other blue-robed lizard man and the red-robed lizard man. But it also burns up almost all the papers and, fortunately, cleans up a lot of the dead bodies as well.
Yeah, we don't have to smell them no more.
I bet it smells... does it smell better or does it smell worse because they're burning?
Well, you don't know because you've got that salve on your nose that is protecting you from the smells.
Gotcha.
The stench.
And what was that damage again?
29 points of fireball damage.
Yeah, so that would have killed me at level 3, but as it is, I have 6 hit points left now. So
I'm glad you thought about leveling up. Good.
I just suddenly occurred to me when I was like, oh no. Yeah, but he got blasted good with his little wood elfness.
All right.
What's everybody else at?
Fillion?
Still alive.
Okay.
I'm at 26.
24.
I have +2 Constitution, so I get 10 hit points every level.
All right. And so they really did not want you to figure out what they were doing here. And so you all have just barely survived. Cathilian, you are going to be going back and reporting to Monet. And while Hob and Willow Wand and Honey Robin investigate. And that's where we will end tonight's episode.
Oh boy.
Woo!
I wondered if any of you would die tonight.
It was
You
close.
came close.
I mean, I would have gone into death saves. I wouldn't have immediately died, but I would have been dying if I had not leveled up. So.
This is probably the most damage Hob has ever taken at once. I think.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
Yeah, like I think they're maybe crying for mommy right now.
Yes, I will definitely be healing people on the way back up. But we do want to give an extra special thanks to Merrick for joining us tonight.
Yay!
Thank you.
Merrick.
Woohoo.
Yes, and once again, Merrick, we would love it if you'd tell everybody where they can find all the cool stuff that you're doing.
All right, so you can find me in the Night's Rest Tavern across all socials, primarily right now on TikTok, and I am focusing on my YouTube as well. And alongside that, I do regular live streams on Twitch and YouTube twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I will stream any fantasy game. If you pitch it, I'll play it. Right now, that's pretty much the focus is my TikTok and then my live stream. I do dabble in Instagram a little bit, but other than that, you can come take a seat at the Night's Rest Tavern and enjoy some good family and cozy, warm, welcoming vibes, and wish all your cares away for a short while.
And if you go to the show notes of today's episode, you will be able to find links to all of it.
Fantastic. Thank you all once again. Thank you for playing with us and joining us on our adventure into the Dragon Realms. We look forward to seeing you again, where we work on Patreon with any podcatcher that you see, and we will scratch your itch for fantasy role-playing. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.